Everyone, thank you so much for watching. This is the Vuyo Joboda show coming to you live from New York City. I am your favorite global darling, Vuyo Joboda, and I do yet again have the opportunity and the absolute honor of serving you your daily dose of global goodness. It's a brand new week, of course, and I'm doing it again this week to give you global information, global insight, global ignition, and of course, making sure that you know what's up in the world around you. Please do, of course, engage with us on social media. We are at the Vuyo Joboda show across all social media platforms. I'd love to hear from you. I'd love to engage with you and, of course, invite you to be part of our growing global community. Visit our website. We are at www.thevuyojobodashow.com, of course, to continue to see this and so much more. Now, on today's episode, of course, we are starting off the week on a very serious note, but I'd like to actually believe that this is a very interesting note as well. 2024 has been marked as one of the most historically lectures, yeah, if that's even a word. A total, of course, of 64 countries will be hosting and having elections this year. So it's going to be a politically charged year for sure, all around the world. And today on the show, I'll be letting you know which countries are going to be holding elections in the year 2024. I know my country is hosting elections. I know the US is hosting elections. But which other countries are going to be contesting, of course? And we're seeing different political parties come head to head to gear the public of each citizens of each particular country to, of course, go ahead and vote for them. It is definitely the ultimate election year all around the world, and of course, they're expected, as I said, in at least 64 countries around the world. So it's definitely going to be very interesting. Of course, in the show, we don't necessarily go into the political nuances of each country, etc. But of course, this is insightful information for you to know. It's global information that I believe you are. It's essential to kind of be aware of. And just as we're entering this year, that we are going to be seeing a whole lot of political elections taking place around the world. So I'm going to be sharing, of course, as I said earlier, which countries are going to be holding political elections in this year. The first country, of course, being India. India has a population of approximately 1.4 billion individuals or people. And the expected dates for their elections to take place are around April and May, coming up soon in the next 3 to 4 months. We will be seeing India, of course, heading to their national elections. Of course, we also do have the European Union, which will be holding it's a total of 27 United European Union member states with a total population of 448 million people. And the dates expected for the elections will be June 6th to June 9th, which will be in the middle of this year. And then we have the United States of America, of course, with a population of 341 million people. And the elections are set to take place November 5th, is when we are looking forward to anticipating the elections to take place around the month of November. We also have Indonesia, which has a population of 279 million people. Elections set to take place this coming February 14th on Valentine's Day. Right? Very interesting date to have elections when there's love all around in the air. Hopefully it will all be peaceful. Of course, this time of the year. The next country holding elections in 2024 is Pakistan, with a population of 243 million people. And of course, the elections are taking place with the National Assembly and will be held on February 8th. Very soon, coming up as well. Of course, the next country is Bangladesh, a population of 174 million people. Elections for the National Parliament taking place January 7th. So they have begun. They have begun, of course. The Russian Federation, of course, as well, will be holding elections for the presidency with, of course, a population of 144 million people. And this will be taking place March 15th to 17th. of course, in the Russian Federation. Mexico will also be holding elections this year for the presidency, the Senate, the Chamber of Deputies on June 2nd with a population of 129 million people. We also have Iran rather also having the elections for the Islamic Constitutive Assembly and the Assembly of Experts, of course, on March 1st. And they've got a total of 89.5 million individuals that, of course, are part of the country. The United Kingdoms will also be holding elections this year, 67.9 million people of their population. Elections will be for the House of Commons and are expected to, of course, take place in the year 2024 without a date specified on when this will be happening. The next country is my country, South Africa. Total population of 60.7 million people. Elections will be held for the National Assembly, and these will be expected between the month of May to the month of August in the year 2024. So we're looking forward to seeing how that goes. I'll be, of course, rallying behind my country on the side of town. The Republic of Korea, or rather known as South Korea, will also be holding their elections with a total population of 51.8 million people. Elections being held for the National Assembly, of course, taking place on April 10th. That is, of course, will be South Korea. Algeria being the next country that will be holding elections. Population of 46 million people. Elections for the presidency will be held, and of course, these are expected to take place in December of 2024. Ukraine will also be holding and hosting elections with a population of 37.4 million people. Elections for the presidency will be scheduled for March 31st and might not occur, or rather due to martial law, which will be on the lookout to see if those elections do then happen on March 31st. Of course, we do also have Ghana, which will be holding elections with a population of 34.4 million individuals, and will be holding elections for the presidency and for parliament on the month of December, around about the 7th, of course, of 2024. Mozambique being the next country to be on our list of countries holding elections in 2024. Of course, the elections are taking place for the presidency and the Assembly of the Republic, and these are scheduled to take place in December, or rather October the 9th, and of course, with the total population of the country being 54, also 34.4 million, which is the same number as Ghana. Very interesting there for us to also note that the population of Ghana as well as Mozambique is the same. That's, of course, information that I think could be helpful for one to know. Madagascar is also the beautiful island of Madagascar is, of course, the other country that we're looking forward to seeing elections take place at this year for the National Assembly. Of course, this is due to take place by the month of May. And of course, with the population of the country of 30.7 million individuals in the country. Venezuela, of course, is the next country, and they'll be holding elections for the presidency expected to take place this December of 2024 with a total population of 29.1 million people in the country. We also have the Democratic People's Republic of Korea, which is also known as North Korea. North Korea has a population of 26.2 million people, and they'll be holding elections for the Supreme People's Assembly taking place on April 10th. We also have Taiwan, which is on our list, total population of 23.9 million people. They'll be holding elections for the presidency as well as the legislative yuan. This will be taking place in the next 2 days, of course, on the 13th, or rather when this will be taking place on Monday the 13th, or the 13th is on Friday. I'm going to cut that. So this will be taking place on Friday, on the 13th of January 13th, 2024. We also have the Syrian Arab Republic taking place, with elections taking place, of course, to be confirmed, and the elections are for the People's Assembly with a total population of 23.6 million people. We also have Mali, African country, which of course will be holding elections for the presidency in the month scheduled for February, of course, that we will be looking forward to that, to seeing if that will be happening this coming February, which could be expected delays within that as well. But the population for this country is, of course, 23.6 million individuals that reside in, of course, the beautiful country of Mali. We also have next Sri Lanka, which will be hosting and holding elections in the year 2024, total population of 21.9 million people. And they'll be holding elections for the presidency and the parliament, with dates to be confirmed on when exactly these elections will be taking place. The next country we have is Romania. Romania, with a total population, a very small sized country of 19.7 million individuals. They'll be holding elections for the presidency, the Senate, and the chambers of deputies. And this, of course, is expected to take place in November and December in the year 2024. Our next country is Senegal, and Senegal, with also quite a small population of 18 million people, and they'll be holding elections for the presidency on February 25th. We also do have on our list Chad, and with a total population of 18.6 million individuals. They'll be holding elections for the presidency, expected to take place in October of the year 2024. The next country we are looking at is Rwanda. Rwanda has a smaller population of 14.3 million people. Of course, they'll be holding elections for the presidency and the chambers of deputies, taking place July 15th in the year 2024. We also have Tunisia, which has, of course, holding elections for the presidency, with dates to be expected this fall. We are looking at a population of 12.5 million people in the country of Tunisia. We also have Belgium with a population of 11.7 million people, and the elections will be held for the chambers of representatives. This will be taking place on June 9th in the year 2024. The next country is the Dominican Republic. I've got a couple of friends from the DR, and I'm very, very amazing individuals. They are a total of 11.4 million people in the country. They'll be holding elections for the presidency, the Senate, and the Chamber of Deputies. And this will be taking place on May 19th in the year 2024. We also are looking at South Sudan, which has a population of 11.2 million people, holding elections with the presidency and the national legislature. And of course, this will be taking place and expected to rather take place in the month of December of 2024. The next country we are looking at is Portugal. Portugal, with a total of a very small number of 10.2 million people in the country. And of course, will be holding elections for the Assembly of the Republic on the date of March 10th. We also do have Togo, and even smaller population of people, 9.2 million, and will of course be holding elections for the National Assembly, with a date yet to be confirmed on when exactly these elections will be taking place, but arguably in the beginning or in the earlier months of the year 2024. The next country is Austria. Austria has a small population of 9 million people. Will be holding elections for the National Council, and these are expected to take place on September 29th. We also have El Salvador, with a smaller population of 6.4 million people, just 6.4 million people. Of course, these elections will be taking place for the presidency and the legislative assembly, and they are expected to take place on February 4th in the month of course, February in 2024. Slovakia, looking at a 5.7 million population, will be holding elections for the presidency for the date to be confirmed. We also have Finland with a population of 5.5 million. January 28th is when these elections are expected to take place, of course, and they will be for the presidency. The next country we are looking at is Croatia, and Croatia has a very small population of 4 million people. They'll be holding elections for the presidency and for parliament. And these dates, of course, are to be expected for the presidency election in December, and the parliamentary elections are to be confirmed. We also have Magnolia, which is, of course, a very small population of 3.5 million. And of course, these are expected to take place in the month of June. Uruguay is next with a 3.4 million population. They, of course, are taking place on October 27th, and these are elections for the presidency, the Senate, as well as the Chamber of Representatives. The next country is Botswana with a very, very minute population of 2.7 million people. And just north of South Africa, the National Assembly is the elections that will be taking place in the month of October. So we expected in that month to see the elections take place in Botswana. Namibia being next, 2.6 million is a population. Presidency and National Assembly are the elections, and the months are to yet be confirmed of when these elections are taking place, but for sure will be happening in the year of 2024. Mauritius, 1.3 million individuals residing in this country. Of course, a holiday destination we are yet to uncover here on the Vuyo Joboda show. Because it's definitely a destination we all want to be. It's on our bucket list, so we want to make sure that we go check it out. But it is, of course, 1.3 million individuals in the country, with the National Assembly being the elections, and the date for these elections is yet to be confirmed. Oh, the next country is the Maldives. If you haven't seen our Maldives review or our episode on the Maldives, then you definitely want to go check it out. We had a kind of a review of what to expect in the Maldives and what you can look forward to when visiting the Maldives. But this population for this country is around about 0.5 million. So 500,000 people reside in the Maldives. It, of course, these elections are expected to take place between the month of March and the month of May in 2024. Iceland, with this even smaller population of 300,000 people, will be taking place in the month of June, on June 1st, rather. And these are elections for the presidency in the land of the Iceland. These are so many countries. Of course, I'm going to be rounding up with the last few countries for you to know where exactly elections are taking place. Kiribati, haven't heard of this country before, but I'm interested to learn more about it. With its population sitting at 0.14 million people, presidency and House of Assembly is what the elections are going to be for. And of course, we don't have a date yet for those, and it's yet to be confirmed. San Marino, with a population of 0.03 million people. Of course, the elections are for the Grand and the General Council and are expected to take place in the month of December. Which country are you from? Are you holding and having elections take place in your country this year? I'd love to hear from you, and I'd love to know from you, of course, which country you're coming from. From this list of countries that will be holding elections this year, of course, and that is all with regards, and that information we've been provided by Time Magazine. I know for a fact that elections are never an easy thing for a country to kind of navigate, but we are for sure hearing from our data today that it's going to be definitely one hell of an election here around the world. We're looking at around 64 countries that are looking to hold their elections for the various different things within their country, whether it's the presidency, the National Assembly, and so forth. So looking forward to seeing how this all unfolds. It's going to be a very contentious year, but we're hoping that there'll be peace all around and that there'll be fair elections that are going to be taking place around the world as well in this year. Make sure that you go and vote. Register to vote in your country. Make sure that you're part and parcel of the conversation. Make sure that you're part of course, the discussion to where each of these incredible countries is going forward, and what the future is going to be looking like for each of these countries. And you can participate by, of course, voting and having your voice heard, having your say in, of course, the country's parties and assemblies that will be ruling into taking the countries forward. This is all I have in store for you today. Of course, some global insight for you to kind of be aware of in this year. I also did want to share with you some interesting events that will be taking place this year. Some global highlighting events that are going to be taking place in this year. Looking forward to seeing how these go. Mainly quite sports related events, and we're looking at the Formula One taking place in 2024. The UEFA Euro Football Championships are taking place in 2024. And Paris will be holding the Olympic and Paralympic Games in France this year as well. So I know that a lot of people love checking out the Olympics. So they'll be taking place in France this year. We have the New York Fashion Week coming up soon in New York in the month of February. We have the Oscars coming up in the month of February as well in Los Angeles. There's so many events happening this year that I'm hoping that you're going to be on the lookout for to know where exactly you can participate in these global events in and around the world. Ladies and gents, that's all I have in store for you from wherever you are around the world. Thank you for spending some time with me today to learn and, of course, be informed right here on the Vuyo Joboda Show. From me to you, with so much love, it's goodbye and have a fantastic day. I'll see you tomorrow right here on the Vuyo Joboda Show. Mwah. Cheers for now.